Welcome back, everyone. We are live. We haven't gone live in a long time here, so let me just make sure we are good to go. And everything is well on my end. Welcome. Glad to have you guys on this early Saturday evening. Sorry about that. Just the ad before my video, so I can do a quick sound check here. And we do sound good. Okay. Fantastic. Alrighty, folks, we are live. It is early Saturday evening. It might be afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. But folks, we do have some breaking news in regards to student debt and student loan cancellation as far as the President of the United States. What we have here is just a preview, just a prequel to what will happen, this Supreme Court showdown. So I want to talk about everything you need to know in today's video, in today's live stream. Let's get started here in just a moment. We'll let the YouTube algorithm kick in, and we will get going in just a moment. Hello. Make sure you guys do go ahead and smash the like button just to help the YouTube algorithm if you are first joining us. And say something in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, city, state, location, whatever you want to tell us. And we'll get the ball rolling here in just a moment. Alrighty, we have some people hopping on. Welcome. Good to have you on. Let us know where you're tuning in from, wherever you're coming from in the world, wherever in the country or the planet for that matter. Okay, so folks, let's get started without further ado. So if you are first joining us, number one, go ahead and smash the like button. I would appreciate that. And also make sure that you are subscribed and notifications turned on. That bell will notify you every time we do post a brand new video. And the next cash giveaway will be at 30,000 subscribers. So do keep that in mind. So, folks, again, this is just a preview of the Supreme Court showdown that's about to happen and about to take place in just a matter of weeks from now. The president is already being strong here with his defense and defending his student debt cancellation program, saying that it is totally legal and totally okay. So, President Joe Biden's efforts to cancel student debt for millions of Americans, quote, fall comfortably within the law and enjoy, quote, clear authorization from Congress, according to the Justice Department, who argued this Wednesday in its opening brief defending the policy before the Supreme Court. So again, Biden is not walking back on his program by any stretch, nor is his cabinet or his defense. They 100% believe in his student debt program and believe that it is absolutely in the clear and good to go for the American people with no legal implications. The court filing submitted late Wednesday evening marks the beginning of a high-stakes battle at the court in the coming months over the fate of one of Biden's major domestic policy programs. This is a big part of his agenda, folks. That's why it's such a big deal, because this will ultimately determine whether or not he can get this piece of legislation out to the American people and provide relief for millions of Americans. So the Supreme Court is scheduled to hear oral arguments in February in two cases challenging the debt relief program, which provides up to $20,000 of loan forgiveness for tens of millions of borrowers. One case is a lawsuit by 6 Republican-led states, led by Nebraska and Missouri. A second case was brought by a conservative advocacy group on behalf of 2 Texas student loan borrowers who were partially or fully excluded from the program. Clearly upset about that. And the brief that was filed Wednesday largely echoes the legal arguments that the Biden administration has been making in lower courts over the past several months. So this is, again, just a microcosm of what's to come. And it argues, first, that the Supreme Court should toss out the case because the GOP states and Texas borrowers lack legal standing to bring the case. But the Biden administration argues that the program is clearly legal in any event. So they 1000% believe in it. They don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's no holes in it. There's no legal ramifications. They think it's 1000% legal. So administration officials argue that they have the authority to cancel large amounts of debt under the HEROES Act, which was a 2003 law that gives the Education Department the power to waive the laws that typically govern federal student loans during national emergencies. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona's actions fall comfortably within the plain text of the HEROES Act, according to the brief. The brief also laments lower court decisions that have frozen the program since this fall, and the lower court's orders have erroneously deprived the Secretary of his statutory authority to provide targeted student loan debt relief to borrowers affected by national emergencies, leaving millions of economically vulnerable borrowers in limbo, according to the Justice Department. The Justice Department also framed the student debt relief program as a logical way for the Biden administration to wind down the unprecedented pause on student loan payments that has been in place since March of 2020. So not only do they believe it's totally legal and totally good to go, but they are saying that it's an effective way to essentially phase out the payment pause that has been in effect. So they're basically saying it covers all grounds and it really should be distributed to the American people without any delays, any hiccups. The Biden admin determined that ending the pause without providing some additional relief for lower income borrowers would cause delinquency and default rates to spike above pre-pandemic levels. And the court should not compel that damaging and destabilizing result. And both the Republican officials and the conservative group argue that the Biden admin is using the COVID-19 pandemic as a pretext for circumventing congressional approval for a sweeping new program that will cost hundreds of billions of dollars. And they both argue that the program is flatly illegal and an abuse of authority. Of course, that is from the Republican side. From the right, they're saying the president does not have any capability to approve student debt cancellation, and that should not be up to the authority of the president. The president does not unilaterally, single-handedly have that power. That's a Republican argument, and that it will also affect the American people in many other ways negatively. And the states argue that the debt relief plan will reduce tax revenues or other funding that is related to state-related entities that own, manage, or invest in federal student loans. A key part of their argument relies on how the debt relief plan would affect the Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority, known as MOALA, which is a loan servicing company created by the state of Missouri. Now, the two loan borrowers from Texas argue that they are injured because they were illegally deprived of the opportunity to provide feedback on the admin's plan before it was finalized. They said that they would have advocated for a more expansive program that provides them with more benefits. The Education Department has approved some 16 million borrowers for loan forgiveness under the debt relief program, which has been paused by court orders since the fall. Nearly 10 million additional borrowers are in line for relief, according to the Education Department. Of course, all these millions of borrowers are just eagerly waiting to hear what will happen and have been left in limbo and turmoil, and it has created a great amount of chaos in this country because of the legal battles that we've been seeing for so many months now. Biden administration officials have extended the pause, though, on federal student loan payments and interest while the Supreme Court considers the case. So it's not like these borrowers are paying and putting money out of their pockets while awaiting the Supreme Court decision. So there's good news there. This was hopefully the last pause by the Biden admin and the final one. The administration has said that payments could remain suspended, though, through as late as August 30th. The Supreme Court will not speed up this case. They will take its time, and they will want to make sure that their decision is fully looked at and fully analyzed to the best of their ability. So they're not going to just rush through this and get it out within a matter of days. It's going to take months and months. And that's why the Biden administration is already talking about extending the pause again. This is now 3 years after the pandemic that we're talking about, and still we're seeing this pandemic relief play out because of these legal battles. And at the same time, though, I don't think the Biden administration truly knows what to do with these student loans. If they can't get their cancellation through and the forgiveness is not approved, I mean, are we just going to keep extending and extending this payment pause forever and ever for an infinite period of time? I don't think so. That certainly can't happen. But at the same time, Biden is supposed to be this figure and god of student debt cancellation, and this person who is in great support of canceling and forgiving student loans. And that's just not the case, folks. I mean, if you look at it and you see it, and if the cancellation is not approved by the Supreme Court and they rule it illegal, is Biden just going to keep extending this pause forever till eternity? That can't happen, and that would certainly also have legal implications in and of itself. So eventually the Biden administration is probably going to have to reinstate paying the student loans, principal and interest. And so this is just creating absolute chaos, folks. And we'll have to see what happens. We'll keep our eyes peeled, and this will certainly be an interesting story of how it plays out. Let's make our predictions right now. Do you think this will ultimately end up in Biden's favor, or do you think that the Supreme Court will rule student debt cancellation illegal? The president does not have the sole authority to do so. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, guys. Let us know down below in the live chat or in the comment section. Might be too early to call, right? I mean, these are just the opening briefings so far. We haven't necessarily heard any arguments just yet from either side as far as the main debate and the main case. These are just opening briefings. But we do have some of these leaks that have been coming out in the preliminary stages. So we'll see what happens. This is certainly getting interesting, and it will get a lot more intense and a lot more fiery. All updates and developments can be found right here on this channel. We'll be sure to update you guys once we know anything else, and as this does move on and progress. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you share it with a friend, get the word out, spread it on social media. Make sure you smash the like button. I would appreciate that. Make sure you go ahead and share it with a friend. If you didn't do that already, also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and notifications turned on. If you want to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, use the brokerage links down below in the description of this video. Sign up with the brokerage platforms Robinhood and or Webull. You'll get some free stocks, some valued to thousands of dollars in some cases. So let us know the stocks you get. And if you want to connect me on social media, I am on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. Use the social links down below. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care for now and have a great weekend. Thank you so much.